Welcome to youth. We're back again.
I know. Who invited us again?
Yeah. They loved us so much that they wanted us back.
Why? Moses, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
That's great. Yeah, I'm great. Thanks.
Nice.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Do you like cupcakes? What kind of cupcakes? Chocolate.
Just kidding. I knew it now.
Well, everyone,
cupcakes.
welcome to today's stream. Hey, Dan, thanks for getting my name right this week. I so appreciate
not
it.
John.
Welcome.
Katie, Xavier.
The reason I was asking Moses whether he likes cupcakes is because today's actually Moses' birthday. That is right, Regan.
Knows.
Happy birthday, Moses! We are so pumped. We love you, buddy. We are here to celebrate you
Oh, that's
and
nice.
tell you how much we love you.
Do you guys have poppers? Yes, the poppers are back.
Happy birthday! Moses, we love making messes
Josh,
just for you, buddy.
You got confetti all over my
Yes.
cupcakes.
I got confetti in his cupcake. Now he has to eat it that way.
How old is he? Oh, nice.
Moses, go ahead. Tell them how old you are.
I'm like 62.
62.
Yeah,
In
don't look.
dog years?
No, in real life. I'm covered in confetti.
I know, that's true. Well,
62, Ella.
He is pretty old, so...
I don't look a day over 25.
You should see the amount of gray hairs
40.
he has on the side.
40. Okay, boomer.
Wow.
Yes.
They're
He's not
already
60.
dissing you.
Almost a boomer.
You're not even 30
Probably
yet.
6.
That's
No.
the worst.
35.
Okay,
Who
great
gets
guesses, everyone. Moses, you
He's
want to
definitely
reveal
gonna-
the real
he's definitely
age?
gonna
Oh,
follow
someone
my
said you're 6.
6.
Thanks.
Jen.
What do you think?
Well, that was crazy. I am.
Telling them or you...
I don't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know.
Drum rolls coming
30.
in. Whoa,
Almost
Becca,
30.
close.
Nice. 31, 27. I'm actually 29 today.
Whoa!
Are you actually 60?
29.
I might actually be 60. I don't know. Who knows?
You know what? You age well. Moses.
Thanks.
For being 60, man,
Yeah.
you look good. I hope I look as good as you
Yeah.
at 60.
32? 32? What?
Some good guesses, everyone. Some good guesses.
Yes.
Oh, I just want to remind everyone, if you're in grade 12, we have
Oh.
Grad coming up. Don't forget.
Nice.
Registration deadline, June 18th. Make sure you sign up. We want to see you if you're in grade 12. We have an awesome day planned for you, and we're really excited to give you a gift, too. Just as you part youth ministries.
Registration deadline.
June 18th.
Which is
Make
next
sure you
Friday.
sign up next Friday.
Yeah.
And the party is going to be on the 25th.
Woo!
So, we'll
Be
see you
awesome.
there.
Yes. And next week, I don't know if you guys remember, but there is a party stream.
Whoa.
Guys.
A party stream!
So, since we didn't have prizes for the game last week,
Yep.
next week, as I said last week, we're going to have some incredible prizes.
Incredible.
We just picked them this week.
And
I
I've been
wish I
purchasing
could
them this
win
week. They are pretty sweet.
I wish I could win them. So make sure next week, 7 p.m. on YouTube,
Be there.
be there.
Or?
Be square.
Be
That's
square,
your-
correct.
That's your favorite thing to say.
Yeah, apparently. 2 weeks in a row I've used the line. Man,
So next week,
gotta
party
find a new
stream,
one.
June 18th. There's going to be prizes. There's
16th. 18th's the deadline.
18th is the grad
16th.
deadline. June 16th.
Wednesday. We'll see you there.
Yes. Prizes, games, and
All
a lot
of
of
it.
fun.
Pumped up. Come on, get pumped up.
They're
Moses,
also
are you excited?
They're also like a new episode of Austin. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know yet.
We're gonna find out.
Austin said he's still thinking about it. So, if you're on the chat, put in a whole bunch of Austin, we want the to-do list. And make sure he knows that you guys want to see another episode.
Because maybe he'll make it come to life.
Yeah. Austin's to-do list. If you guys want it, make sure you put that in the chat.
Oh, we see a couple. Come
He's
on.
still trying to decide.
Let's go. I see it. To-do list. Let's go. Spam the chat.
Austin, do the list. Nice.
Nice, Josh.
To-do. Austin,
Love
do the
it.
list.
Awesome.
There we
And
go.
for today, guys, we are playing a brand new game called Where's Bernie?
Where's Bernie?
Where is Bernie?
Where is Bernie?
Who's Bernie, you say?
Josh, you do that really well.
Thank you.
don't think-
I think I got the wrong leg, actually, but...
Doesn't work.
No, I got the right leg. No, I got the wrong leg. Just kidding.
How do you play this game, Josh?
This game's gonna be pretty awesome, guys. It's like a Where's Waldo style. So there's gonna be like 6 to 8 frames, depending on the picture. And you gotta see if you can find Bernie. And then each frame is numbered. So you gotta say, oh, Bernie's in frame number 3. And then you gotta put it in the chat as fast as you can. So Moses hasn't seen these.
Nope.
So he has no idea where Bernie
My
is.
goodness.
So we are going to play this together. And we're gonna see if Moses has good eyesight. 29 might be a bad year for his eyesight, but we'll see. All right,
you wait, Josh.
let's go first round.
My goodness.
Oh, find Bernie, Mo. If you know what
4, 5, 6.
frame Bernie's in, put the number in.
7.
That's your guess?
I'm gonna guess 7. Oh, 6. Definitely 6.
Ah, there you go.
Thank
It is
you.
frame number
Yes,
6.
Frame number 6. My eyes aren't dying yet. Which is
Not
great.
yet. Good job for those who got 6. That's awesome. All right, we're going to slide. Ooh, the Taj Mahal.
Bernie,
Bernie,
what
where are
doing
you?
all the way over there?
Do you see him? Do you see
no.
Bernie?
Is he on the top of the Taj Mahal?
He
Oh.
is not. Because there's nothing at the top of the Taj Mahal.
The chat is saying 7.
7,
I
okay.
can't see right now because Austin pulled it down. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, I'm just gonna go with the
Guesses
chat.
are 7. Bernie is in 7.
Yes!
He's in the water. Do you see it? What?
Oh,
He's in the reflection of the
That's
water.
amazing. Okay, next one.
The Taj Mahal is pretty cool. If you've never
this
gone,
one
recommend it.
Oh, tougher.
It's like a black and white one. Where do you
Where
find?
is Bernie?
I don't
Josh,
actually
do you
even know
even-
where Bernie is.
Josh, I thought you chose this game.
I did, but I forgot where Bernie was in this frame. Oh, actually, I do remember where this one is. Hey, Austin, don't give
Oh
it
yeah,
away.
3. Chat says
3.
There we
Great
go.
job, everyone.
There we go.
Yep, Bernie's
Sitting on
up
top
at
of it.
3.
Okay, next one.
Look at him, hiding in
All
the
right.
corner.
Where is
Oh,
this?
this one's a good one. Also, keep in mind, you can sometimes only see partial parts of Bernie, not his entire silhouette. Just thought I would mention that. Do you see it, Jen?
Guys.
I see you getting antsy
yes.
over there.
Everybody says
Okay, what do you guys? 4? 4?
I
That's what the
spo-
guesses
I
are?
spotted him.
Nice. Do you
He's
see him?
right by the umbrella.
Yeah, good job, Mo. Hey, your eyesight's
Yes.
pretty good for 29.
Josh, just wait until you turn 29. It's gonna be
Oh
great.
man, it's gonna be terrible. My eyesight's already bad.
Next one.
All right, next slide.
On
What do we
Disney?
got? Ooh, yes, Disney.
Josh, we were here like
hey,
2
we
years
were
ago.
2 years ago. Woo! We didn't see Bernie though.
No.
That was unfortunate.
We did see Michael Jordan.
It's true.
Number
MJ,
1.
my man.
Oh yeah, he's. Yep,
Oh,
number
he's
1.
hiding up in the balcony or on top of the tree.
This one
nice.
is actually really hard.
Good job.
You guys in the chat have actually been helping me so much
great eyesight.
because I
folks.
definitely cannot see it.
He like blends into the shadows over there.
Yeah, that's
like, you
crazy.
can't even see him. Nice, number 1. Let's
Awesome.
go.
All right.
Oh,
this next one.
This is gonna be interesting.
Southwest Airlines.
Where are you, Bernie?
Where are you?
Where you at, Bernie?
I'm looking for the blue mask. Oh, I see it. 5. Yes.
Sure.
I didn't even
Aw,
use the
you
chat this
did.
time.
Good job,
You found
Moses.
this game and you didn't look at it. Josh.
I just wanted to make it more entertaining when I sat here and was very confused where Bernie was too.
I should have brought
Great job,
binoculars.
Moses.
Thank you.
Number 5.
Just look for the mask.
Yeah, it's true. The
That's
mask
so true.
does help. I think this next one is very obvious where Bernie should be. Oh no, not this one. There's one coming
Oh
up.
my goodness.
Oh, this is
Chicago.
what is the
It's a
thing
bean.
called? It's a that's what I was gonna say nut, but it's a bean.
It's a bean. It's a.
It's like it looks like a cashew.
Oh, I like cashews.
I do like cashews. Ooh, chat's blown up with number 7. We see Bernie. No, I don't think Bernie is all the way up there.
I see you 7. Yep.
Hey, partial
Too
Bernie
easy.
again. Nice job. Good try for those who didn't get it right. You tried. That's what matters.
Yep.
All right, next slide.
The sky is
Ooh,
Eiffel Tower.
Paris. Paris. Where could you be, Bernie? Where could you be?
I hope he's at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
I don't think he is. Try again. Moses, any thoughts where he could be? Chat blowing
This
up
one
or
is
something?
tough. 5?
Yeah.
Nice. I
He's
definitely did not see
midway
it.
through the
Oh.
Eiffel Tower. It's a hard one to see.
That is
It's
tough.
a hard one to see.
That's crazy.
I know. He like
good
almost
for-
blends in.
Yeah. He's like part of the Eiffel Tower. I
And
love
his blue mask
He's tiny.
joins the sky.
it. Tiny. That's crazy.
Little
Next one.
bunny.
Josh, you have great accents.
Oh, thank you, Moses. All right, next slide. Oh, this is the one I was talking about.
Oh, I see.
Just
Number
stands
2.
out in a sea of white masks.
Number 2.
It's like almost too easy.
Elena, are you even looking?
Yeah, 4, 3, 5. Come on.
That's not an option.
Bernie is only in one frame, friends. One frame. Nice job, Moses. Killed it.
Yes,
number two, right
That
away.
one was really easy.
That was the fastest one yet.
Yep.
So, all right, next slide. Let's go.
Whoa,
Oh, yeah.
Waldo.
Find him in a Waldo.
Number
sea.
9. Nope. That's
Sure.
No, it's not.
Sure.
Oh, I see him.
Do you?
Yep.
Yeah. It was like, at first you get overwhelmed with all the Waldos.
And then you remember you're not looking for Waldo.
That's right. It's not a Where's Waldo, it's Where's Bernie?
Bernie's right there. Number 3.
Number 3, we found Bernie. Nice.
Do I
We
get
should make a
prizes?
book just of Where's Bernie's.
Are you
Yes.
gonna be the rest of the crowd?
Yeah, of
You're
course.
You're-
I'm gonna pretend to be. Oh, wrong leg. Sorry. I will pretend to be Bernie wherever we go. Just gotta dye my hair a little bit, but it'll be fine. Nice job, guys.
Turn 29, maybe you'll get one.
Maybe. You guys are doing really good. Okay,
Next
next
one.
round. Let's go. Oh, and
that's
that
the
is the end of Where's Bernie?
Sweet.
Guys,
Josh, do I get a prize?
You know what, Moses? Your cupcake with confetti
That-
on it is
that's
your
true.
prize. Great job today.
Thank you.
Playing,
Thank you, you too.
participating, and being a big part of this.
Wow.
We're so glad that
Thanks
it
for
is
the
your
cupcake.
29th birthday.
Yeah, and I get to hang out with you guys.
With
which
you
is
guys.
awesome.
That's how much he
So-
loves you guys.
Yeah, now we're gonna invite Becky and Jen
right.
because we are gonna learn more about what we've been learning about. What
Restore.
Which is restore. I had a mind fart. I forgot.
We are continuing on the series with Restore. We're so excited. It's gonna be a great night. We're
Take it
gonna
away,
turn
Jen
over.
and Becky.
Oh my gosh, look at how much confetti.
Well, how does one?
I'm in touche. oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot my glasses. 1 second.
Uh-oh. I got my glasses.
Okay. Sorry guys. I have trouble seeing without them, so. Jen, keep your confetti on your side.
I can't even pick it up.
Okay. Well, that was super fun. I would have never thought to do Where's Bernie instead of Where's
Yeah.
Waldo. So thanks for that game, Josh and Moses. Super fun. And happy birthday again, Moses. Have fun with your group, and we'll celebrate more later,
Uh-huh.
I think.
Hey, Dan. Hey, who else did I see? Lyra? I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. I apologize. Lyra. Thanks, Josh. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Start off here. How many of you actually like working on group projects? Like any project, a school assignment, like a big project, a school paper, because apparently group papers are a thing now, not just projects.
That is the thing, yep.
It wasn't a thing when I was in school. A sports team. How many of you actually like working in a group? Hands up in your groups or in the chat.
Give us thumbs up, thumbs
Yep,
down.
thumbs up, thumbs
Any
down. I'm
no's?
seeing lots of yes to the group projects.
I'm seeing no's.
Oh.
They're not bad.
not-
Sometimes. Depends on the group. That's a really good.
And what maybe you're doing.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah.
true. Depending on who I'm working with. It's
Only
fun to
if
work
it's
with
hard
people.
and big. Yes. I
That way you
that.
don't have to do all of it on your
It's
own.
true. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Fair
very
enough.
good.
Fair enough.
Nice.
All right. So we're seeing. All right. I'm not gonna say that one. But yeah, no, it looks like
Depends.
okay. Now I've got an actual thumbs
There's an
down
eye.
there.
Yeah, I see that. It's
Okay, so it
Xavier.
looks kind of like I'm seeing a bit of kind of maybe depends and a
yeah.
little bit of a split, it looks like. But for those of us who don't generally like working on group projects, a lot of the time the reason we don't like working on group projects, from my understanding, is because of bad experiences that they've had with a group, or with a person in their group. And so I think that's reflected in how a lot of you say, depends on who I'm working with. Awesome. Jesse, I love that you love working in group projects. That's so great.
If I'm with my friends, I like that too.
Yeah. Now, I know I have not had I have had some not so great experiences with group projects in the past. A few years ago, I had a lab partner in one of my chemistry classes in university who wasn't always the best lab partner to have. He was a bit all over the place, and he even messed up some of our experiment results a couple times, which was super not cool. But to be fair and to be super honest, I know I have not always been the best group partner either. We all have our moments. So there was this time in junior high, so many, many years ago, when I was in a foods class where I did not follow the instructions properly on a recipe.
Oh no.
And so my partner had trusted me with this task, and I messed it up. Instead of folding the blueberries into this muffin batter that I was supposed to be taking care of, I stirred them in. And I'm sure if any of you guys are bakers out there, you might be shaking your head at this rookie mistake that I just made. Because when I did that, when I stirred them in, instead of folding them in, I turned our blueberry muffin batter blue, which wasn't what we were supposed to do. So when my teacher came by to grade our muffins, my partner was awesome, and he told her that we just made an artistic choice to make our blueberry muffins blue, which was nice, and so that actually did save us a couple of points, but I actually made a big mistake that cost us some grade points, which was not awesome.
Yikes.
Yeah.
All right, well, clearly partnerships aren't always easy, and they don't always feel beneficial because they require us to actually rely on someone else to uphold their end of the project, and sometimes even to cover the areas where we aren't as gifted in, which doesn't always work out, because what if you have the same kind of weaknesses?
That's never good.
But that's okay. But tonight, the type of partnership we're going to talk about isn't like that at all. It's actually the perfect partnership where no matter what weaknesses you bring or what gaps you have in your ability, your partner will always have your back and not be upset by having to carry the project on his shoulders.
That's a big deal.
Now, the project I'm referring to is our mission, and the partner I'm talking about is obviously God.
Yeah. We're at youth, after all.
We are at youth. We have to talk about God. Last week, if you guys were here, we spent a lot of time talking about how God invites us to be a part of his mission, and how that mission boils down to two major things: loving people practically and saving the world by introducing them to Jesus. And we talked about finding what our individual roles are meant to be in that mission. Now, we recognize that it's completely possible that you may have walked away from last week thinking that fulfilling your role in God's mission is something that you do on your own, that God hands out these assignments to everyone and then wishes us good luck as we go off and try to accomplish the mission on our own. But that's not how God intended our involvement in his mission to work. In reality, God doesn't just give us our mission and tell us to go have fun while he hangs back at HQ. Headquarters, for those that don't know what HQ is. He's actually already out in the field working on accomplishing his mission, and he's inviting us to join him out there.
For sure. What a cool picture, actually, to think of. Now, when we do think of that picture, and we think about how perfect and powerful God is, and then we take a look at ourselves and we think about how imperfect and weak we can be, it's really hard to see why God would want to choose us to be his partner on this mission. Like we talked about, group projects with people who aren't very strong and holding up their end of the project is not usually beneficial. And you know what, that actually kind of reminds me an awful lot of what it was like baking with my mom when I was a kid. My mom was totally capable of baking cookies on her own. She could probably have made the cookies a lot faster and with a lot less of a mess than if I was with her helping her. But she would still choose to include me in the process. Now, I'm curious, did any of you guys help your parents bake cookies, or did you help them cook dinner? Jen apparently
time.
did. Yeah, so throw some like chef emojis or food emojis or whatever in the chat. Let me know if you helped your parents bake or cook in the kitchen. It's something that I'm gonna kind of refer to tonight a little bit more. Now, if you did, why? Yeah, I'm seeing that definitely. If you did help your parents, why do you think they invited us to do that with them? Especially if it would have been faster and cleaner for them to do it on their own. If you have any thoughts, throw those in the chat too. But I think it's because they love us and they wanted to spend time with us and they just wanted to teach us things. They knew that at that age, like maybe we're like 5 or 6 or however old we were, there was only so much that we could do to help them out in the kitchen. I mean, the gadgets look kind of strange, some of them were dangerous, and we didn't really have a clue as to what we were supposed to do to make these delicious cookies just magically appear like our parents would kind of make them appear for us. So what our parents would do is ask us to do tasks that they knew we would be able to do, like stirring the batter, actually stirring it this time, not folding it, like stirring the batter or pouring in the chocolate chips. Now, our parents knew what our strengths and our weaknesses were. They would make sure to take care of all of the things that we weren't able to do. In the end, our parents were able to use whatever we were able to contribute to make these delicious cookies happen. And you know what? They very likely loved every minute of the time that they spent with us along the way. Guys, God chooses to partner with you in his mission, not because we're an amazing partner and we're going to be able to do all of this in this project, but because he loves you and he wants you to be involved. He already knows what your strengths and your weaknesses are, and he's able to fill in any gaps that we may have, and he's able to take care of anything that we can't do to make his mission a success.
So good. So good. All that being said, guys, we as humans have just like a little itty bitty teeny weeny little tendency of wanting to do things on our own. Just a little bit. I know I do. And we can get caught up in our busy agendas. We get pulled in every direction trying to do this good thing or that good thing. And we can sometimes miss what God is actually inviting us to partner with him on. So we're gonna jump into a video, and Jonathan is gonna talk to us through how we can partner with God and what he's doing around the world, and also a bit of why it's important that we do partner with God and try not to go solo. So let's take a look.
God at work. Many of us don't take enough time to stop and search for it. We get caught up in our ideas, our initiatives, the most recent cause we can support. But we don't take time to recognize that God is already at work all over the world, and that he's inviting us to join him. God has been on the scene way before you and I even knew what the problem was. And joining him to do his work, whether through a relief project or a restorative relationship, is absolutely crucial. But how do we put this into practice? What does this mean for me? What does this mean for you? What does this mean for all of us in our everyday life?
Throughout this entire series, we're talking about the issue of poverty and our response as Christian to that issue. If you remember, we actually started out this series by redefining the word poverty and what it means. Most of us tend to think about the word poverty as a lack of money or a lack of material things, and while that's true in some cases, that's not all of it. Poverty is rooted in broken relationships. And there's brokenness in you, and there's brokenness in me. We all have brokenness. We all have some sense of poverty in our lives. And until we learn to focus our efforts on alleviating poverty from a relational standpoint, our efforts might actually hurt people rather than help them. Poverty is rooted in broken relationships. We also looked at the two different approaches we as Christians can take when it comes to the poverty issue. There's relief and there's restoration. If you remember, relief is a short and it's quick, temporary response to a crisis situation in someone's life. When a fire maybe takes out their house or a flood hits a community, our response should be that of relief. But most people aren't in that crisis situation. Most people don't need relief. What most people need, what we all need, is restoration. Remember, since poverty is rooted in broken relationships, it's all of us working together to become more what God has called us to be. And it's not so much about projects or initiatives, it's more about a process. God wants to use us in a process to change us and to change those that we help. It's all about restoration. Now, I know a lot of you might be thinking, Jonathan, that sounds great and everything, but what does that mean for me? I want to start doing something today. I'm glad you've asked. There's a few things that we can keep in mind as we move forward to really start engaging in restorative, relational approaches to poverty. The first one for us to keep in mind is that God is at work. He's already at work, and our job is to find where He's at work and join Him. How do we know He's at work? How do we know He's at work all over the world? Well, we can see He's been at work since the dawn of time. In fact, David writes about this in Psalm 139. He says, I can never escape from your spirit. I can never get away from your presence. He's saying God is everywhere. No matter where I turn to, you're there. That's a good thing. God's at work everywhere. I can ask the darkness to hide me and the light around me to become light. But even in the darkness, I can't hide from you. Light can't even escape God. God is everywhere at work, and our first job as Christians is to find where He's at work and join Him. Find where God is doing good things in our communities around the world and join with Him. And there's two things we can do to join with Him. The first thing we can do at a local level is start building relationships. Locally, we want to build relationships. That means there are people that God has placed in your schools, in your churches, in your community that you can start to actually build relationships with because you know them. There might be someone in your school that has been struck by a crisis situation and they need relief. It's a great opportunity for you to offer relief. Or there could be someone that has experienced the loss of a family member and they need some comfort and some help. That can be you. You can actually begin to build relationships locally in your schools, in your church, in your communities to start making a difference. Globally, we can support relationships. What that means is while we may not know the people around the world that need our help personally, we can't go to them and build long-lasting relationships with them. But what we can do are support people that are local. Support people, support churches, support organizations that are working on the ground that are making a big difference through a restorative relational approach. Locally, we want to build relationships. Globally, we want to support relationships. Those two things are going to allow us to actively be engaged in where God is working around the world. We're going to be able to find where God's at work, and we're going to be able to join Him.
Wow, what a great first point from Jonathan there. We can build relationships personally and support relationships around the world. So, I mean, there's so many different opportunities out there. So what are some local and global organizations that we can partner with that you know of? Maybe you've already partnered with some. Throw some in the chat. The shoebox thing from the church, absolutely. Also called Operation Christmas Child from Samaritan's Purse. I think of Compassion. You know, I have a sponsored child through Compassion Canada.
Or Compassionate Ministries.
Compassionate Ministries at the church. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
A lot of you guys have done like encouragement cards.
The mustard seed, absolutely, Ella. That's a great example. The food bank, Project Serve, the drop-in center. And the thing that's cool, and I see so many different so many different options that you get in from the cold. Josh, well done, nice one. And you guys, they don't have to be Christian organizations or faith-based organizations in order to go and serve God. You can take Jesus with you into that space, which is so cool, because just by being there, you're actually influencing the atmosphere. And I think it's so cool. Calgary Pregnancy Care Center, that's another fantastic one. Wow, you guys have some great answers. Yeah.
Shelters, yeah. That's awesome. And I love your point, Jen, that like it doesn't have to be a Christian organization that we're working with to actually do what God is doing and asking us to do. Because God, as Jonathan's already said, he's at work all over the place. He's at work everywhere and all the time. So we don't have to necessarily be at a Christian organization. We can be with God anywhere, which is really cool. So obviously there are lots of different opportunities, as you guys have said. Oh, another one, nursing homes and homeless shelters. That's really great.
Like that.
There are lots of different opportunities, obviously, to partner with different organizations to make a difference in the world and accomplish God's mission. But that does make me wonder, how do you know when God is asking you to partner with him in different ways? So with a personal relationship with someone, or by partnering with an organization and supporting relationships there. How do you know when God is specifically asking you to do something? So take a second to just think about that and throw it in the chat if you have a way that you know when God is asking you to do something. And while you take a moment to think of that answer, I want to just acknowledge that finding ways that we can serve and help people on our own and through organizations without feeling this prompting by God at first is still okay. It's good. It's not a bad thing at all. But we do need to remember that the best way to help people is to look to the one person, just the one person, who knows everything that's going on behind the curtain in everybody's lives, and join him in what he's doing, because he knows what's best. He knows what's going on and what's actually going to be helpful. So it's important that we know when and how God invites us to join him into doing these things.
Yeah, so there's a couple answers in the chat I've seen. Ellie put in there a gut feeling, like you just kind of know. Absolutely, totally get that. Good feelings, a sign, yeah. Impactful words, yeah. These are all great ways, and I just want to encourage you guys, like it's different for everybody. God doesn't speak to everybody the same, and so it's whatever it is for you, however you've recognized God nudging you in a particular direction or pulling something to your attention is awesome.
Ella's got a good one.
Yeah, Ella, usually I will feel a pull or a feeling. Awesome. You pray and something will randomly pop into your head. Not so random if you're praying. Hopefully, usually that's the Lord speaking to you if you're praying for something and then something pops into your head. And that's awesome. I know for me, I am similar to what you guys are talking. I'm a feeler, so I will feel something very strongly. Like I'll feel compelled to do something is how I like to explain it. And one example I just thought of was when I was quite a bit younger. I was youth leading, and one of my youth kids was really into photography, and I actually was into photography as well. So we had worked together, just going out for photo walks and stuff like that. And this one day we were hanging out, and we finished hanging out, and I went home, and I felt the Lord put this idea in my head, like, you need to give her your camera. Now, like, so I'm protective of my things, and my camera was a nice camera. It was a digital, a DSLR camera, and I actually fought with the Lord on it, and I was like, no, like, there's got to be something else that I could do. There's some other way, but I couldn't get this feeling out of my heart and my mind, and so I was like, well, okay. And so the next time I hung out with her, I was dropping her off at home, and I said, before you leave, I have something for you. And I reached into my back seat, and I pulled out my camera bag that had my camera and my lenses in it, and I said, I feel like God is asking me to give this to you so you can continue to pursue photography. And she was absolutely blown away. I was like trembling and terrified the whole time because I wasn't sure how she was gonna take it, but like I was nervous because it's not every day God asks you to give up something so it seemed significant to me in the time. And she was so blessed by it, and her mom actually texted me shortly after she got home and was like, "You have no idea what this means. And it is a huge blessing to her. Thank you for being obedient." And I was able to share more of my story of how it came to be that God had nudged me in that direction. So it was really
That's
cool.
really cool.
Yeah.
I
So
love
it's always a little bit different. I see a couple different things here. God usually puts a song on my heart. Xavier, that's pretty cool. So yeah, like when we think about how God, what's the actual question? How do you know when God is specifically asking you to do something to help someone? I think, and Ella put it in there quite well, is, you know, you have this sense and then you pray about it. You ask him, okay, you've drawn my attention to this. Now what do I do? You know, and actually asking him what's my action step instead of just assuming that we know, right? And that's, yeah, and that's the first thing to keep in mind, to be aware that God actually wants to partner with you. He wants to partner with us. And there's lots of different ways that he wants to partner with us in various situations. So we're going to go back into the video and see what Jonathan has to say and share with us.
The second thing we need to keep in mind when it comes to helping people is this. It's not about what we have, it's about what God wants. It's not about us, it's about God. John chapter 15 actually says this. It says, "I am the vine." This is God, this is Jesus talking. It says, "I am the vine and you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. But apart from me, you can do nothing." You see, when our efforts and our hearts and our mission align with that of God's and not necessarily of our own agendas, we bear much fruit. Apart from him, we can do nothing. But with him, we can do tremendously more than we could ever ask, think, or imagine, because we have the power of him working in us. Stay connected to him. Stay connected to his calling, to his purpose, and not necessarily what we want to accomplish, and we'll see much more done in alleviating the poverty issue and helping people around the world. There's actually a beautiful story in John chapter 6 that illustrates what we're talking about perfectly. Jesus and his disciples are met by a crowd of thousands of people. And this is where it starts, picking up with verse 5. It says, "When Jesus looked up and saw the great crowd coming towards him, he said to Philip, 'Where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?'" He saw that they had a need. They were hungry. He said, "What should we do?" This is really interesting. He asked this only to test him. For Jesus, already had in mind what he was going to do. Jesus knew how to solve the problem, but he asked Philip to be a part of the process. He asked Philip to come along and be a part of the process of helping these people. Jesus already knew. That's huge. Philip answered him, "It would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one of us to have a bite. It's going to take a ridiculous amount of resources, a whole lot of work to help these people." Another one of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "Here's a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish. But how far will they go among so many?" You see what happened there? There was a small boy that had a little bit there, and they said, "Well, this is all that we have. Jesus is really not going to feed everybody that's there." Here's the magic. Jesus said, "Have the people sit down." There's plenty of grass in that place, and they sat down. Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed it to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. When they had all had enough to eat, they said to his disciples, "Gather up the pieces that are left over and let nothing be wasted." Did you catch that? Did you catch the miracle that just took place? There was a small boy that all he had was 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed thousands. I don't know about you, that would not even fed my entire family very well. We're pretty hungry. But Jesus took the small amount that we had and not only met the need, he exceeded the need. Everybody was fed and there were leftovers. The same is true when we approach our work to helping people around the world by not just doing our own things, but joining up with where God is already at work. He's able to take the small amounts of gifts and abilities that we have, and He's able to not only meet people's needs, He's able to exceed their needs and do immeasurably more than we could ask, think, or imagine. So as we all move forward in taking a relational approach to alleviating poverty, there's 4 things that we can do to make a difference. And it all starts with our mind, our mouth, our hands, and our heart. It starts in our mind by educating ourselves on the issues that are going on in our local communities and around the world. Educating on what are some of these issues that are taking place that I can be a part of, whether it's in a relief context or in a restoration type context. It starts in our mind. The next thing we can use is our mouth. We can use that to let people know about the issues that are going on in our local communities and around the world by letting them know about churches that are doing things that are good, by letting them know organizations that are doing good works, and allowing us to be really banner wavers for the work that God is doing in and around the world. Use our mouth to let people know. From there, we move to our hands, and that's where we actually roll up our sleeves and get a little bit dirty. We involve ourselves in restorative relationships that both change the people that we're helping and change ourselves. Both of us working together, bringing our gifts and our abilities to become more like what God has called us to be. We use our hands and we get dirty. And finally, we use our heart, because we know that nothing can be accomplished without God. We first have to find where God is at work and then join Him. We do that through prayer. God changes us through prayer. God, what are the things that you're doing? What are the things you want me to care about? What are the things that you want me to want? God changes us through prayer. It all starts in our mind and goes to our mouth, our hands, and then our heart. So that's it. With all of this information, with all of these new ideas, there's one thing that we always need to keep in mind, and that's God and His work around the world. God is at work around the world. Our job is just to find where it's taking place and join Him. The only question now is, will you?
What a great word from Jonathan. I'm seeing a bunch of you guys are interacting with it in the chat. Yeah, definitely such a good word. God is always at work all over the world, you guys. And we do have scripture that does back that up for us. In Romans 8:28, it says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him." And we read in John 5, verse 17, and this is what Jesus is saying. He says, "My Father is always at His work. My Father is always at His work to this very day, and I too am working." God is already at work all over the world, and He wants us to join Him and participate in what He's doing. Jonathan gave us actually some pretty practical, good points in how we can partner with God too, and I saw a couple of you throwing them in the chat as well. He said, our mind, our hands, our mouth, and our heart. And as I was kind of processing what Jonathan was saying, it kind of got put into 3 different categories to me. The first was being ready. So we need to be ready in our minds by making sure that we're educated on what's going on around the world. What kind of social justice issues are there out there that the Lord might be wanting to work through us in? We also need to be willing. With our hands and our mouths, we need to be willing to advocate for people, to educate other people once we have that understanding of what's going on. We need to be willing, as he said, to roll up our sleeves and actually get involved in what's going on around the world and doing the practical things to love people like God asks us to. And the third thing is we need to be paying attention. So with our hearts, we need to be in tune with the Lord to know what He is doing and what He's inviting us to do. So we encourage you to start paying attention to where you see God is at work around you. where he's wanting to love people practically through you, or to draw them to himself by helping them meet Jesus through you. Whether that's in the life of just one person that you know, or it's through jumping in to help solve a major social justice issue. Either way, be on the lookout for God's invitations to join him in what he's doing.
Yeah, so for Becky and I, actually, one of those ways that God invited us to partner with him was for a season, it looked like us partnering with a ministry here in Calgary called The Walk. And what they do is they help women on the streets who were potentially caught in human trafficking situations, and as well as supporting an organization called December. Had trouble with that word earlier. December, and they raise money to fund rescue operations and rehabilitation for people caught in human trafficking. This social justice issue is something that God has placed on both of our hearts, and as something we needed to do something about. There was an action piece we felt compelled to partner with God in it and how he was working out in that situation. So those are a couple of things that God has called us to do, but for you it might look completely different. For some of you, God is calling you to partner with him in what he's doing in a specific person's life. Like he's calling you to help them through a hard time, or maybe he's calling you to someone you know who needs to hear about God. For others of you, maybe he's calling you to partner with him in his work through an organization like the ones we mentioned earlier, that are working on a social justice cause. Things like fighting human trafficking, helping the homeless, or helping feed starving children somewhere in the world.
Now, if you're not quite sure what that thing is, or those things, that can be plural, God doesn't invite you to do just one thing. He's got lots of things to invite you to do with him all throughout your life. But if you're not sure what that thing or things are that God is inviting you to partner with him on, we have a couple of questions that you can start to ask yourself this week, that you can start working through to help uncover the things that God is inviting you to do and help you to be on the lookout for God's invitations all throughout your life. The first question, and this one's the big one, I think. The first question is, what cause or story or situation really gets your attention when you hear about it? Like really grabs your attention. You can't forget about it. It just sticks with you and it breaks your heart more than any of the other things that you hear about. What thing or story or situation catches your attention and really breaks your heart? The second question is, what are the things that you feel like you were made to do? You might not know that answer just yet, and that's okay because you've only lived a few years at this point, so there's still lots of life to explore all these different things. But what are the things that you're starting to feel like you were made to do on this earth? And it doesn't have to be something that makes a ton of sense right away and like how this could actually be something that God uses. Maybe you're a painter. Maybe you feel like you were just made to create art. Or maybe you were made to like make the world's best shawarma. Or like, I don't know. It's
Yes,
just random
shawarma.
different things. You feel like you were made to do something in particular. God can use those things. He's placed those things in you because he has specific ways that he wants to work through you and with you in different situations. And the third question is, what are you passionate about? Now, not just what do you like to do or what's fun to you, what are you actually passionate about that you can't not do? Those are things that the Lord has placed inside you that he put there for a reason. And so he wants to partner with you through those things that he's already given you so that he can accomplish some pretty amazing things. Now, the answers to those questions, once you've started to unpack what those things are, you might start to see that those are the very things that God wants you to step into with him and do something about. And I promise you, he has given you everything that you need to accomplish what he wants you to accomplish. It says in John 15, verse 5, I am the vine and you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. So when we're in tune with God, when we're aware of and we accept his invitations to partner with him, that's when we're going to be able to make the most impact for his mission, because he promises us that when we stay with him and we choose that partnership, we will bear much fruit. And like the miracle of the feeding of the 5,000 that Jonathan talked about, God is able to multiply what we offer.
Yeah, so good. I'm so excited. I love it. Guys, so to wrap up tonight, we want to spend a few minutes in prayer. We want to actually take some time and ask God a couple of questions through the lens of wanting to see what he's already doing around each of us and how we can partner with him in those things. So put away your phone if you're alone, and if you're with a community group, just stay still for a
Put
second.
away
Stand up, sit down, do whatever you need to do, because we're just going to take a couple seconds here and just pray a little bit and talk to the Lord and let him speak to us. Okay, so let me pray. Father, you are so good, and we know that the work that you are doing around the world is so important, and the work that you're doing right here around us is so important. And God, we ask that you would speak to each one of us right now. We want to silence the voice of the enemy in Jesus' name, and we want to be open and receptive to what you have to say. So, Lord, what are you saying to me? And Lord, what do you want me to do about that thing? What is it that I can do? What is the role that I play in that passion I have? How can I use that and partner with you in that? Guys, if you're ready to start paying attention and really partner with God in what he's up to around you, and you want to accept that invitation, maybe there's something very specific that he's laid on your heart already, and you want to join him in his work, I just invite you, wherever you are, whether you're alone or with a group, either raise your hand or put your hands out like this as a symbol to the Lord that you're ready. And I'm going to pray for you in a second. And I just want to say this is simply a symbol, and it's more an action to help us focus on this is what I'm doing, and to say to the Lord, I'm ready. It doesn't matter if you're alone in, sitting at your kitchen table or in your office or with a group. This is just it's a symbol, and it's an action step that we can take to help us. So go ahead and do that, and I'm going to pray for you. God, thank you for each one who is taking that step tonight, who's deciding, I have this passion, God, and I am joining with you on this journey, in this thing. And Lord, I pray that you would continue to bring creative ways of interacting with those around us, and whatever, if it's a social justice issue that we can do specifically, that we can partner with you specifically immediately with, or an organization. God, I pray for clarity in your voice being so clear to each one tonight, that they would be clear enough to take the next step, whatever that might look like. It's not about getting to an end goal, it's about a next step. Father, thank you for how you speak to each one of us individually and uniquely. And I pray, God, that we would share these things, these passions, these things that get us riled up, and these causes that we are partnering with you in. I pray that we would share that with others. I pray that we would have boldness to open conversations and not shy away when people ask us what we're involved in or why we're involved in it. Thank you for each one of the youth here tonight joining us online. And I just pray your blessing over them as they take these steps, as they choose to partner with you and move forward in this. And I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thanks, Jen. That was great. I really hope that you heard something from the Lord during that prayer time. And if you did, I encourage you to write it down. It's always a good thing to write some of these things down, especially if we're not really sure what it fully means right now. The Lord might bring it to mind again at another time. So I encourage you, if you feel like God has put something in your heart, even if you do understand it, if you don't understand it, write it down. And then the Lord may be speaking to you and unpacking that thing a little bit more to you a little later down the road. So thanks, Jen. I appreciate that. So you guys, Jesus didn't want to just stop with redeeming just us. When we accepted his friendship and we invited him into our lives, he has invited each one of us to become part of the solution, to become part of the process of helping him to love and save the rest of the world. We all have a role to play. Our roles look different. Our approaches may be different. So that means we need to stay in tune with God to know what our roles are meant to look like. And we need to pay attention to where God is already at work and is inviting us to join him. So we hope that this is something that has helped you understand what next steps that you can take in partnering with the Lord and what he is doing in your life and in the lives of those around you guys. We just bless you with a great rest of your night, and we hope that the Lord will continue to speak to you about these things, even as you get ready to go to sleep tonight, and maybe over the next few days he'll say something to you, or you'll feel that that kind of pull that we were talking about. Maybe you've never felt that before. I want to ask the Lord to help you feel that right now, at some point in the future, or it's for you to know if another way that he is speaking to you. I'm going to be praying for that for you guys this week. But anyways, we are actually under time this week, which is amazing. So I don't want to mess that up and go over time. So I'm going to start wrapping us up here. Guys, it's been such a wonderful year hanging out with you. Even though we've not really been in person, we've had this amazing opportunity to hang out with you online and see you in the chats and hang out with you on Instagram and other places. We love hanging out with you guys so very much. And we can't wait as restrictions start to change as early as tomorrow, which is very exciting, that we might be able to see you in person again soon. I'm so excited. And you know what? There are some of you guys that I actually don't even know what you look like because I've only seen you in the chat. So I am so excited to meet you and put names to faces sometime hopefully in the near future. Now we do have, I'm saying this as if this is our very last stream, but it's not. We'll just remind you guys.
Why?
What? It's not?
I thought it was. I thought we were done.
We still have youth next week. We are having a party stream to wrap up the year, to have so much fun. We're just going to end the year off with a bang. We're going to have lots of fun, games, and prizes, as the boys earlier did mention. Now, there is something that is actually on this set that you could win next week, which is very exciting. Jen, do you have an idea of which one?
I'm just curious. I was going to ask you, what's that lovely thing that you've been taking sips out of?
This lovely thing?
Yeah.
Guys, we have some pretty cool things that we've just been ordering and have got in this week, which is awesome. It's branded water bottles.
Yeah.
They have our youth logo, which is super cool. You have an opportunity to, not Becky's glasses. You can't have those.
Josh Revolvos wanted them. He wants to know.
I don't think you
don't
want my
them.
glasses. I'm gonna be super real and honest with you guys right now. You can't tell because I'm so far away. My glasses are actually broken, y'all, and I've had to glue them back together.
Many
so you
times.
don't want those.
Many
Anyways,
times.
That's just me being open and raw with you. No, you're gonna actually have a chance to win a youth branded water bottle, which is super awesome. We've got 2 of them up for grabs next week. And guys, there are going to be more where that came from, which is super awesome. So come hang out with us next week. Invite friends even. It's just going to be a time of fun, hanging out, games, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Also, we just want to remind all of our grade 12s, if you are graduating, we want to celebrate you and give you presents
Yes, please.
and give you blessings. So please make sure that you register online. I think you can also register through Instagram. I think it's in our bio. You can check the link there and sign up to come and hang out with us. We want to bless you, pray over you, give you a gift. Sign up by next Friday, and we will hang out with you on the 25th. We love you guys so very much.
Yes.
If that wasn't obvious.
Yeah, I
we
know.
love you so
We do.
much.
We
We
love
love
you.
hanging out with you, and we believe in you so much, you guys. You don't even know. So we hope that you have a great rest of your night, that you have fun hanging out with your community groups, that you have good conversation, and that you will hear from the Lord this week. We love you. We love you. We love you. And we hope you have a good night. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.